here supporting Father Mark and is supporting the truth, because truth comes from God, and we're here supporting that truth. I want everybody to know what's going on. Just a quick summary. We're supporting Father Mark not because we're followers of him. We only follow Christ. We don't idolize him, and we're not going against the church. We want the church to get better. We want our Catholic faith to keep growing, and that's why we're here today. So our message is what's going on. As many of you know, Father Mark and Bishop Barry have been antagonizing, have been in disaccord. But why is this? It all started from Father Mark writing his pain in a blog of how he was ordained by the ex-Cardinal McCarrick. And McCarrick, as we know, is being investigated for running a sex ring. But that just brings pain to many victims. It brings pain to Father Mark, that's also a victim, through being hurt. And now our parish and Rocky Mount, Martinsville, and our diocese is also being hurt. We're standing here for the victims, for Father Mark, and for us to keep growing as Catholics. We hear just little talks on having funds for the victims, but there's never been dialogue between Bishop Barry and the victims and Father Mark. And that's why we're here, because we want dialogue. We want to talk. There's pain on our hearts. And it's in everyone, and it hurts the heart of Christ, the most holy, sacred heart, and it hurts Mary's heart. And that's why we're here. Not to go against the church, not to go against our bishop, but we're here so we can reunite again, so we can have dialogue, because this is a problem that's going on in our because all right, my bad. So this blog is taken down. It had our frustrations on there. It had our pain. And now we're here, over 100 miles away from home, being with the priest that has married us, baptized us, was there for our first communions, our confirmation. Father Mark has been there for many of the sacraments of our church. He's been there for the oils of the sick. And now it's time for us to back our priest and any other priest that's going through the same thing.
Hey, it takes two to have a dialogue. Otherwise, it's a monologue.
Thank you, Enrique. Beautifully put.
Good job.
Thank you all for being here. We're gonna stay a little while longer, try to engage in dialogue with as many people as we can. A weblog is about a dialogue, about communication, about living in the truth as best we can. That's why I started it. And I'm glad that nobody idolizes me, because I'm certainly not perfect. I've certainly made mistakes. But everybody has a right to speak their piece and try to live in the truth. So my next step is I'm going to write a book about all this. say a prayer that the words come, and we'll keep this undertaking going, this attempt for our church to live in the truth. Because we want justice, honesty, no more cover-ups, and the Lord Jesus.
Vientre Jesús.
Santa María, Madre de Dios,
Dios te salve María, llena eres de gracia, el Señor está contigo. Bendita tú eres entre todas las mujeres y bendito es el fruto de tu vientre Jesús.
Santa María, Madre de Dios,
Dios te salve María, llena eres de gracia, el Señor está contigo. Bendita tú eres entre todas las mujeres y bendito es el fruto de tu vientre Jesús.
Santa María, Madre de Dios, Señora por nuestros pecadores, ahora y en la hora de nuestra muerte.
Dios te salve María, llena eres de gracia, el Señor está contigo. Bendita tú eres entre todas las mujeres y bendito es el fruto de tu vientre Jesús.
Santa María, Madre de Dios, Señora por nosotros pecadores, ahora y en la hora de nuestra muerte.
Dios te salve María, llena eres de gracia, el Señor está contigo. Bendita tú eres entre todas las mujeres y bendito es el fruto de tu vientre Jesús.
Santa María, Madre de Dios,
Dios te salve María, llena eres de gracia, el Señor está contigo. Bendita tú eres entre todas las mujeres y bendito es el fruto de tu vientre Jesús.
Santa María, Madre de Dios,
Gloria al Padre, al Hijo y al Espíritu Santo.
My Jesus, forgive us our sins, save us from the fires of hell, lead all souls to heaven, especially those.
Just reintroduce yourself.
Greetings, it's Father Mark White, standing here in front of Sacred Heart Cathedral here in Richmond.
Do you think you reached your goal today?
I think we did. We were together and we had a chance to interact with a lot of the students returning here to campus at Virginia Commonwealth University from all over the state.
Do you have any regrets on what you did on speaking out?
No, I really don't. This has been a hard road, but I think we're standing up for something that we need to stand up for that is for the good of our beloved church.
Had you not spoken out right now, would you have spoken out later on?
I think so. Yeah, who knows? Maybe, please God, so there'll be a little bit more accountability and openness in the church, and if that could happen, then there wouldn't be anything to speak out about anymore. But until that happens, I think so. Yeah.
Do you think the system in which you were wrongfully taken out is broken or corrupt?
I appreciate the question. I think the rules themselves make sense, but they can only be applied by the people in charge, and the people in charge have to have everyone's best interests in mind, and it doesn't seem that that is necessarily the case here.
How did the entire roller coaster of events affect or change the way you view your religion?
It hasn't really changed it. I've had to dig deeper to seek the Lord and His will even more deeply than I ever have before. But I love Christ and His church, and I love being a priest as much as I ever have.
How do you feel knowing that the bishop is probably looking at you right now? How do you feel knowing that all him and his friends are all comfortable inside while you're out here having to fight for something that's something that's not your fault?
Right, that's a good question. I don't begrudge anybody. They're doing their thing. My brother priests need to do their thing. And if the bishop is watching, I just wish we could have a conversation about this, and the kind of conversation that I'd hope we could have had some time ago. I'm still ready and willing to have it.
If you were to walk out right now and he were to say, okay, what do you want to tell me? What would be the first thing that you would tell him?
That I really wish we could go back to the peaceful life in our parishes that we had before he intervened to try to silence me.
Thank you.
Thank you, Minnie. Well done. Excellent questions.
Thank you. Do you want to just introduce yourself first?
Okay, I'm Caitlin Long, and I'm a parishioner of St. Francis of Assisi Church in Rocky Mount, Virginia.
What's your relationship with Father Mark?
He has been my priest since I was in middle school, and when he was my priest, when he first came to our church, I was in the middle of converting to Catholicism. So he's basically been my priest since I've been Catholic, and that was around 2013 yeah.
Okay. What made you want to follow Father Mark here?
Here today.
Yes, here today.
I wanted to show my support for Father Mark and what he's doing, and I wanted to show my support of wanting to start a dialogue with the bishop about what's going on, because I love my church and my Catholic faith.
Do you think that our voice will one day be heard throughout these protests?
I pray that we'll be heard. I don't know that our voice will be heard in the exact way that we want them to be heard, but whatever the Lord's will is, I think will happen, no matter how that plays out. And I pray that it'll be how we want it to be heard, but whatever the Lord wills is going to happen. Yeah.
Just hold on one second.
Okay.
How do you feel like right now knowing that the bishop and his band of evilness are probably watching you right now and doing absolutely nothing?
I pray for Bishop Nestout a lot early on when this was going on, like early on around April. I was very angry with the bishop, and I've changed my approach to praying for the conversion of his heart, no matter what that means and no matter how he is involved in this. And that's been a healthier way of me for praying about it, because that's what Father Mark has said we should do, is pray for even those that persecute us. And Father Mark has led us to that example, I think. Yeah.
If he were to stand right in front of you, what is the first thing you would tell him?
Let me think.
It's okay.
I would say no matter what is on your heart right now and in your soul, would you please consider, having a dialogue with Father Mark. No matter what that meant for you and no matter what that means for you, would you please just have a dialogue? Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, you heard it here. We will one day seek justice, and that will for real happen. Thank you.